So, your rank is somewhere between this, and you want to learn how to play Kled.
Holy shit, where are we?
Well, my friend, then you've come just to the right place, because I'm a professional gamer, and I know everything about League of Legends. Sit back, relax, stop wanking, and let's get started. Okay, so Kled is the best champion. The champion, you can say. This mad furball kept me playing this godforsaken game when I was planning to quit. Here's how it went.
You might have Flap and the rich lady under your spell, but it's gonna take more than that to impress me.
Kled is an Oxian Yordle who has fought in every campaign ever waged and acquired every military title. He's always charging into battle on his untrusted steed Skaarl and never backs down from a fight. Okay, so you really have to understand this aspect of his mentality. You never back down from a fight. As a wise man once said, offense is the only offense and I will have none of these tactics in my combat encounters. Wiser words were never spoken, though to tell the truth, to make the most out of this character you have to be just as crazy and bloodthirsty, as calm and well aware of what you're doing. Don't worry, my fellow LoL player, I'm here to tell you the secrets of this one-man army. Oh, sorry Skaarl, this one man and one lady army. You have to understand the abilities a bit better before we can reach deeper. About the passive. Holy, this will be a lot to explain. Basically you have two health bars, one for Kled and one for Skaarl. Simple. If this bar hits 0 hit points, Skaarl runs away like the little bitch she is to the closest bush. After Kled loses his mount, his damage is decreased by percentage and you are left alone with a much slower movement speed and you are limited to only use these abilities. Oh look, one of them even changed. This is the part where it gets a little tricky. While unmounted, you have one objective. Survive. No, wait, you have two objectives. Survive and show Skaarl that you are still in charge and the real danger will be you in the future if she doesn't come back and help you out quickly. How do you show that to her, you ask? By attacking everything and everyone around you like a maniac. Each activity gives a different amount of courage to Skaarl. Attacking champions gives you the most, but it's much riskier for obvious reasons, and attacking turrets and last-hitting minions gives you less, but you can gain it a bit safer. Once you attacked enough and this bar fills up with 100 courage, your trusty steed shows up and after 0.5 seconds Kled remounts with a portion of Skaarl's health and you get back your movement speed and mounted abilities.
Woo, good timing!
If you're mounted, your Q is bear trap on a rope. It's self-explanatory really. If you hit the skill shot and haven't lost contact with your target for a given time, Kled yanks out the trap, pulling back the enemy. While dismounted, this ability changes and your Q is pocket pistol. Kled fires his pocket shotgun which deals some damage while knocking him back a little. You can go through walls with it and for every pellet that hits the enemy, you gain some courage. Your W is violent tendencies or invoke your inner gene with attack speed. Basically you gain attack speed on 4 auto attacks for a period of time and the fourth one deals bonus damage to the target. It's the simplest ability in his kit, but you must play around this to bring the most out of this champion, which is hard because it's a fucking passive ability, therefore once it's off cooldown it's triggered by literally anything. This ability doesn't change while we are dismounted, so good for us. Your E ability is jousting. You can dash in a direction. If it hits an enemy, it puts a mark on them and they become revealed. You can cast the skill again to automatically dash towards the marked target. The first dash cannot go through walls, but the second certainly can.
Stop it, Rod.
Remember, while you are dismounted, you cannot use this ability, which is a bit unfortunate because it can be your go-to escape tool in certain scenarios. Finally, your R, your ultimate skill, the so-called Yep, there's exactly 8 A's in there, I counted them myself. This is the ability that defines your soul while playing this champion. You charge towards the target location, automatically navigating terrain along the way, while leaving a trail that grants allies increasing movement speed. While you are in this state, you are immune to all crowd controls, and the only ways you can interrupt this skill is by dismounting Kled, or by putting a visible enemy champion before this zone. When that happens, Skaarl launches towards and collides with the first visible enemy champion on the way, knocks them back and deals some physical damage. This ability can cover quite an area, but the automatic navigation can sometimes make questionable decisions, and when a new wall appears in front of you, oh boy, this skill can make some weird shit. I must warn you that with this skill you have one of the strongest tools in solo queue. You can command your teammates to go in a fight. Whether you are charging to a winnable teamfight or straight to your doom, no matter what, they will follow you, because it's just too hard for their monkey brains to resist this when you are clearing a path before them by screaming "Follow me!" So I would say that with great power comes great responsibility, but fuck that shit, you are playing Kled, so you don't have to give a damn about anything. Hey, look what I found. Should I fire it? I don't think that this is the best time for that. We still need to learn a thing or two. You sure? Okay, whatever. For runes, it's pretty simple. You can always go with these exact runes and do just fine, but these 3 are flexible choices, so take whichever you prefer. The build itself is fairly simple too. You aim to be a tank that can take a hit, but somehow still deals tons of damage. So your core build is this. About the mythic item, Sunfire Aegis is your go-to pick.
But what about Goredrinker and Eclipse? Didn't the game with the item changes become more flexible with the builds?
No. No. Shut up. I could talk about how it has great stats or how it procs well with the bonus health you gain from Skaarl, but nobody cares about that. Just simply think about it. You're a one-eyed furious poodle on top of a lizard crocodile thing on fucking fire, and you are slashing and burning down your enemies to the ground by non-stop screaming. Why would you not want to be this? Why would you choose this? Or this, over this. It just doesn't make any sense. Also, if you're going with this build and you finish Titanic Hydra, the game is over and you automatically win. I said you win. I said... Okay, there we go. Today, we will go to the top lane. So you bring Flash and Teleport as summoner spells.
Hello there.
No, no, no. You're a top laner, you bring Teleport. Got it? Okay. As I was saying, you are going to the top lane with Flash and Teleport, where there are no rules, just morals. That's why here some people play range champions, and some people bring this shit as a summoner spell. According to this, you will have a lot of different matchups.
The matchup is shit!
Luckily, Kled is a very versatile champion, so there are nearly no lanes that you can't win. But let me quickly make you 3 categories. There are the easy lanes, the skill-based lanes, and the oh my god, what's going on, Jesus, what did I do to deserve this kind of torture lanes? You can pause here and study these categories a bit more, or you can write an essay about how and why my opinion is shit. But for the others, let's continue. As a top laner, your duty is to contact your team as little as possible and play on a different plane of existence with your lane opponent. But there will be a time where as a top laner, you grow up and must participate in teamfights. Depending on how well you did during your laning and how bad they did during theirs, you can assume what kind of monkeys are you playing with and what kind of monkey are you. It usually looks like this. Okay, now you have to let me try this out. No, not yet, trust me. Tell you what, after a few more things, you can try it out. Really? Oh, that's great. Now we arrive at a quite interesting aspect of this character, which is combos. Unlike the Matsuya, you actually have some variety in how you can use your abilities for trades. Yeah, I know, strange, huh? With this character, you can't really win long trades in the early game. You, however, thrive at short and mid-length trades. While mounted, the most basic combo is Q, then W, but let's bring E in the picture too. The most obvious combo is E plus Q, W, and D again. If you want to spice it up and lower the chances of missing your Q, which, let's be honest, is not easy to land every time, then you can go for EW, E plus Q, or EW, Q, and E. Also, if your W got like 2-3 seconds of cooldown, then you can still engage and make these combos. If you want to use E defensively or the enemy laner is good for pressuring you to make longer trades, you want to go for QW and then use E to back away. Without W, these combos can be risky, because after you use E, you lose one of your escape abilities, and if the enemy laner is better at long trades, then you will get your ass kicked. Let's be honest, it's just too much commitment in our life, which we are clearly not ready for yet. Your ultimate is an interesting one. It cannot make that big of a difference mid-fight because it scales with the traveling distance, but there are 4 ways you can use it during laning phase. In the last 2 instances, you will use your ult as the engage tool. With the knock-up, you are free to throw a Q to the enemy or use your E to mark your target instantly. We've discussed the following combos you can make after this, so good luck. I'm sorry to say, but there will be a time during your laning that this health bar hits 0, and with that, we arrive to the part where you lose Skaarl. First question, who is the enemy laner? If you're against any over level 6 no-no champions, then this will happen. Oh, he's not one of the no-no champions. Then we can move on. What you must know is that the quickest way to get Skaarl back is 4 auto attacks and 2 good Qs. If you don't pay attention to your W management, you can instantly lose one of your most important tools for getting her back, so keep an eye out. Let's say you dropped off of Skaarl and you've managed to get 100 courage by either of these ways. Then you'll arrive to the hands of Lady Luck. Okay, so it takes half a second for Skaarl to come back, and you can use these skills to keep distance between you and your opponent. How hard can it be, right? Half a second is nothing compared to the fight before it. It would be just ridiculous to die now. Oh.
Oh my!
I know what you'll say, but maybe... Actually, you know what? Go ahead. Show them what this baby can do. Really? Let's go! Fire!
What the dog doing? You have no mana, bitch. You have no mana!
whoa, Skaarl, hold your horses. I think we went a bit far with that one. Huh? Okay, if you say so. Anyway, let's continue with the teamfights. In teamfights, you have two roles, being the front line and or trying to disturb as much of the back line as you can. Generally speaking, just be a pain in the butt. Your kit allows you to close the gap between you and one target multiple times, so you always need to know who is the biggest threat in the enemy and aim for eliminating that champion. Your Alt and E is the go-to engage tool.
He did the same joke about 3 times already. I don't think it's funny anymore.
With these two skills, you can basically find yourself between 5 enemies in half a second, therefore you will make yourself an instant focus to 5 people. That's why you need to build tanky items. Also in teamfights, your W and dismounting management is a bit different because there is simply just no way that you can precisely predict when will you lose your companion. When that happens, you basically put a sign to your head which says kill me or you regret not doing it. My advice is that you shouldn't worry about this and just slash everything around you as much as you can until the actual dismounting happens. Then you can worry about surviving. With these items, you can make your job at being alive a bit easier, but don't forget that getting Skaarl back will always be a gamble. And the final and most important thing is that you don't care about winning. Your purpose as Kled is to invade both bases at once, so at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter which team's going to have a hell of a time. And with that, you now know how to play Kled. What can I say? You're welcome. Now make me proud and ruin some solo queue games. And until the next one, see ya! Your purpose as Kled is to invade both bases at once, so at the end... Fuck off.